Well, good morning, everyone. I'm sitting here with a Guild. It's a D260E. This is actually a discontinued model, but it was purchased new just recently. And I was asked to change out the saddle for a bone one. And the saddle that was in there was called Nubone. I understand it has the properties of tusk, you know, but it's not tusk. It's something, it just has similar materials maybe. So I've already changed it out, but before I changed it out, I left the same strings, and what I did was I did a before and after bone change out to the bone, so you could listen to it to see if you can hear a difference between this so-called Nubone saddle and now what I have in here now is a bone saddle. And so, yeah, I think it sounds good. I tried to keep everything the same in terms of the distance of the microphone. I only use the microphone on these clips. I did not plug in like I am right now. I'm plugged in because it has a Fishman saddle in it. This is a really nice guitar, by the way. It does have a laminated back and sides, but the back is arched. See that? And that's a blackwood right there. So it's not a blackwood, but a striped ebony. So it's very pretty. And yeah, so it's got a solid top, solid spruce. I think when they were first put out, they were about $550 new, which you can get in some of the major stores. I think now, of course, they're discontinued, so you'd have to buy them used. You could probably pick one up for about $450. Still has the factory strings on it. I left the strings, so all I did was I changed out the saddle just so I could hear the difference. And I thought if I change the strings, it's going to really pop. It's because this guitar sounds good already. It sounded good before, I thought. But I also thought it'd be interesting to see if there's a difference between that's significant. You know, it might not even be significant. And it's really hard to do because I'm, not set up to have a scientific view of this. But, in just a sort of a rough way, you get the idea that maybe there is a difference between some of these materials. And I noticed, though, when I took off the strings, this nut fell off. I guess it's not unusual. It just needs to be glued back in. But it also is Nubone. I'm always a little shy. It's set up so nicely, I hate to mess with it. I'm probably just going to leave it. I don't think the differences would be significant in my opinion. So that I'm going to leave. I'm just changing out this. I went to change the pins out, and I thought I had the right taper pin, but I don't. These are very, very, very slim pins. So so that's not going to happen. But at least right now. But it does have the bone saddle in it, and it's set up really nicely. This is, if you were to measure it, it's at 0.09 at the low E and 0.08 at the high E. And I kind of like that, I think, because especially with a dreadnought, you're generally digging into it. If you start going lower, you run the risk of getting string buzzes. And it's really comfortable. So it plays without buzz, and I think it feels really good. So I was going to let you just take a listen to it and see what you think. So I'll put the clips right here. There'll be a before and an after. I'll try to label them so you'll know what you're listening to. And let me know what you think. Do you think there's a difference between this, changing out this Nubone saddle? Is it even worth changing? Do you just leave it? If it was plastic, I definitely would say no, don't leave it, put another one in. But there, because I do think there's a big difference. But with the Nubone, I'm not sure. So I'll let you listen and you tell me. Okay, so there's the first thing, and well, I'll come back. Listen to these clips. Let me know what you think. Okay, so what'd you think? Well, I think personally that the Nubone is a little bit brighter than this one. This bone has more sustain, maybe even more volume in my thinking, but not quite as bright. I don't know. You let me know what you think on that. Now, before I turn this video off, I do want to remind everyone that in June, actually be the first week in June, I'm going on a road trip, and it's not a long one, but I'm going to be going up to the northern part of the United States and crossing over about 2/3 of the way of the country and coming down and doing a circle. And in doing so, I'm going to try to pick up some of the guitar stores, not the big major brands, but some of the smaller guitar stores, and go in and visit them and take you along with me. Let's see what's in some of those stores. But if you have stores that you know of in those areas in the northern and central part of the United States that you think I should visit, please leave a message, leave a note, and I'll put it on the list. I do have I have names of some of the stores from other people already. Some of them are not in the states that I'm going to be visiting for this trip. I am going to go on another trip after this, a little later in the summer, and touch on some of those. But let me know what you think. Do you have some stores you think I should visit that would be like a mom and pop shop and fun to visit, with some interesting instruments in it? I really like vintage. I like unusual. I like handmade. But I like some of the Guilds and the Martins and the Taylors too. So let me know if there's something out there you think I should visit. All right. You take care, and I hope you have a great day out there.